but it's very soft. Yes. That seems to be the case right now. Sorry, I have to mute you every once in a while.
Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing.
Okay, you're on now.
Okay.
You are on, and I believe I am louder than you right now.
Yeah, I'm bringing your levels down, and I'm keeping my levels roughly where they are. And is the game music overpowering us?
I would bring it is.
Okay.
So I would either bring our volumes up or bring the game music down.
I just brought the game music
right now.
way down.
Okay, it's way too down.
Let's try that.
Like you could not hear it. It could be probably 15% louder.
It's weird because I'm looking at the soundboard, and so I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it wasn't working because I'm looking over here at my mix, and the mix should be working.
Sounds good. Okay, since we're already tweaking sound, I'm gonna mute you. You just keep talking. I'll tell you if I want you to be louder or softer.
Sure.
I'm currently at, what am I at? I'm at 66 on my volume.
Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing.
Okay, you need to be louder.
Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing.
You sound about half as loud as my volume currently.
Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing.
Ooh, and my voice is kind of cutting off a little bit.
It is. It's doing something funky for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's a little bit weird how that's the case.
Dum, dum, dum.
For everybody who is tuning in and is wondering
Can
what
you
we're
crank
doing,
yourself a little louder?
I can actually. I can give myself a bit of a boost. One sec. I'm gonna give myself a bit of gain. I gave myself about 5 decibels of gain. How's that sound?
That sounds better. More in line with what I was sounding.
Okay, should I still be a little louder? Because I can still give myself a bit more gain. I can give myself like 7 or 8 of gain. Let's try that. How's that sound?
If you can be a little bit louder, that'd be good.
Really? Even louder than this, eh? Because I'm already at pretty high level of gain.
This is good now.
This is good.
Pretty good now.
It's good now?
Yeah, it's good. I want to hear more of that sexy voice.
I'm trying to figure out. I think I see what's going on. That's not working right now. It's because for some reason OBS is not letting me output using the fake, quote unquote fake virtual audio output, and I'm not sure why. Because usually if it let me.
This is why I got so tripped out. I muted you on Discord, and
yeah.
so I was just listening fully to the stream and responding to you. That's probably why it took me a little while to respond to you.
Oh, okay, no worries. No, it's just right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out why the stream, like OBS is not allowing me to. It's not picking up. So it's really bizarre. Like if I'm looking at Audacity right now to check the levels, it's totally picking up the audio no issue. And then the moment I try to do something different, it's not working.
Cool. For the record, I also muted you again, just so that I'm listening to the stream audio right now.
No worries. It's just me trying to figure out. I don't know why.
My voice still has that sort of electrically.
The tinny quality, yeah, and it's actually it's tinny even for me right now. Like it's tinny on Discord.
Yeah.
It's tinny on Discord right now too.
But you sound fine on stream because I'm listening to you on stream and you sound fine.
I sound fine? Is it maybe because you're registering me through Discord?
Yeah, on stream you sound good.
Maybe it's because you're... Is it because... one sec. Virtual inputs.
I've muted you on Discord, so I don't hear you at all on Discord, and I only hear the stream from what I understand.
At this point.
But I do hear myself on stream, and it is much less pleasant than hearing your voice.
I'm just trying to figure out how to...
Oh, this is great. I'm eating an apple, and it's not picking up the sound.
I'm literally just trying to figure something out right now. Like, I'm a little confused as to why...
Well, granted, my apple's been cut into pieces, so, like, I'm still biting off pieces of it, but it's not like a giant apple that I'm going...
I'm just really sad that it's not working on OBS. One sec, sorry, we're gonna start soon.
I feel like either way, we should just continue and sort of brush this off as growing pains.
No, I agree. It's just weird because if it's not gonna work, then we might as well just abandon the soundboard because it's not actually conducive to the stream. It's just adding RAM cost to no benefit.
Maybe we just need a little bit of tweaking. Oh, there goes the game audio. I can still hear myself though.
Okay, let's move ahead. Can you still hear me, Arrow? Wait one sec.
I can hear you. You are a little bit softer now.
I'm a little softer again?
Remembered.
From before?
Oh no, I'm softer and you're softer. So we're both softer.
We're both softer, okay.
Yes.
One second. This is gonna take a little bit of effort again. Testing, testing. I should be louder now. You might be a bit quiet though.
A little bit. No, don't censor me.
Okay, wait. Let me boost you up. Try saying something.
Ooh, Google's game streaming service makes Assassin's Creed Odyssey playable in Chrome.
Whoa, seriously? That's interesting.
Well, I thought you looked on Polygon. That's what it says on Polygon.
Oh, I hadn't yet. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's give this a try. How's it sound? We might have to play with this a little bit on stream, but hopefully... Hi everybody, welcome back to Post Call Gaming Streaming. This is going to be a very long episode of us at the beginning just talking and checking audio levels. My name is Dax. Tonight we're going to be streaming some Dragon Quest XI again. If you're catching us on the YouTube archive and you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe buttons below to see all of our latest streams and videos. I am joined tonight by my great friend and co-host, Aero. Arrow's around.
Hello, I'm here. I'm still listening to the stream, and there currently is no music, no game music on the stream.
Yeah, I tuned it down very, very low, so I can pick it up a little
It's
bit.
to the point where there's no music.
Let's put that to 50% and see how people like that.
That's actually not bad. If it was a little bit louder, it'd probably be good, but I'm not sure exactly how we sound.
All right, let's give that a try.
Yeah, a little bit louder would be good.
How's that sound? Better? Worse?
Okay, I think it's not bad.
Not bad?
I would prefer the music to be a tiny bit louder, but it works. Either way, it works. It's subtle. The background music's very subtle right now.
We might have to work with this for now. Because we've already spent so much time trying to figure out just the audio.
Sounds good. Let's rock and roll. I am going to turn down the stream sound.
And then let me just check. I feel like the resolution has gone down.
And unmute. And we are in business.
All right, let's go. Last time we had left off, I think we had basically promised this useless prince of Gallopolis that we were going to slay some kind of creature on his behalf. Off stream, we have done some leveling. We picked up some new costumes for some of our characters, and I'm going to try to see if we can beat this guy today. Might be a bit of a grindy stream, so we're going to hopefully go back to our old podcast structure today, now that I've got Arrow on.
Yeah, what Dak said. I have no clue what happened since last time, because I do not remember.
It has been a while. It has been a very long while.
It's been a long time. I thought you continued doing some of the Dragon Quest 11 stuff, but I wasn't 100% sure.
I think Walt and I did a Dragon Quest 11 stream at some point, and it wasn't going too well in terms of like our progression. I'm really sad that our audio solution didn't work.
I mean, it happens every once in a while.
I'm gonna have to do some more testing of that audio tech. I was really hoping that Voice Meter was gonna help solve some of the issues we were having with audio, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I watched a
sure
tutorial.
We'll find something that'll work.
I watched a tutorial.
It's okay. We'll find something that works.
Apparently, Voice Meter usually works for most people, but not always. I might watch the tutorial again and see what I missed.
Yeah, maybe it might have been just a small one or two functions that we didn't get right.
All right, let's give this a shot. You can see the guys are just lined up waiting to go. Cutscene time.
Oh, there they are. Doo -doo -doo.
The Slayer of the Sands was last seen here.
I really don't like the Prince's voice actor.
I have no any sort of opinions on it. I think his feather's nice.
You can see one of the sisters has got a new costume. I found it by accident while I was grinding. It's the dancer costume.
Costumes are always good.
Always good.
Show that filthy thing what real knights are made of.
So last time I tried to play this, I got wrecked. So let's see what happens.
Play against this dude?
Yeah.
Looks like poor old Faris has
Oh,
been struck down with
I mean,
stage
he's got
fright.
arms for days.
Yeah, I know.
Beat the ears and look after him, will you? Come on, gang. This little drama needs a hero or two.
Go for it. Do your thing.
It's gonna be
Do
rough.
your thing.
It's gonna be rough.
Do your thing. You mean it's gonna be rough like sandpaper? I tried.
Okay, let's try to do some DPS stuff and just see. Last time I tried this, it really actually did not go well, so I'm not sure how it will go this time.
You're taking it manually, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last
time to show off that RPG prowess.
Last time I did this battle, basically what happens is he's gonna do some group damage moves that, for some reason, do like a ridiculous amount of damage.
I hope this helps.
I mean, you can't make all the bosses super easy.
No, you're gonna see. Look at that! It does 30 per person!
I mean, it's cute when you're doing 9 damage to it.
Okay,
Oh my goodness.
it's actually, I don't know, I'm already feeling a little nervous, because this is actually from my experience on this fight, he's actually a really tough battle. No, I needed him. Oh, see, look, we're already down a character.
Ooh. Jeez. We just got a costume for her.
So we're already dead our main healer.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't
This
think
giant scorpion thing is not a team player.
I actually don't think we have a resurrection item.
Do we run? Do we reset? Do we run?
I don't know, like, that's what I'm
Can
saying.
we run?
This is actually a
Do
really...
we just grind levels?
This is a really rough fight, and part of it is because I'm playing with the... There's like choices you can make at the beginning of the game about how difficult you want it to be, and I'm pretty sure we're playing it on hard mode. I don't know why I chose to play it on hard mode, but we are playing it on hard mode.
Ooh.
Think you're tough, do you?
Sometimes. Sometimes you start a game and you say to yourself, I hate myself today.
It's just a tough fight, like, there's really nothing more to be said about it. It's a really tough fight. And we barely do any damage to it.
It's true. The damage we're doing is pretty laughable.
Yeah, and I even like checked the last town. I was like, is it because we didn't do any like armor upgrades or something? But no, it's just genuinely, we're actually at the max armor rating for most of our characters. Look, we're already down to 1 character.
Oh.
And she's dead.
Well, it seems like a great time to move on to news.
Okay, I'm gonna... We didn't really gain any experience, so I'm gonna allow...
Yeah. So while we revert back to our last save position and maybe grind at a couple of levels or reevaluate our strategic assault.
We're gonna grind.
That's what's new.
What's new? So we're gonna do a little bit of our usual podcast segment. We are gonna do, so oftentimes, usually at this point, we either do a little bit of a morning report, but we're gonna do some handover. So Nintendo actually recently just released its first new mobile IP by the name of Dragalia Lost. I don't know if you've heard anything about this at all, Aero.
I have not. What is this?
So, some of our listeners might be familiar with a mobile game, and you might have heard of it too, called Grand Blue Fantasy.
I've heard of it. I have not played it. It is on my list.
It's super popular, not out in English yet, officially, although there are some, I think, mods you can do that allow you to play it on an Android browser emulator, I want to say, in English. But anyway, developer Side Games, super now famous in Japan because they're making tons of money hand over fist off of Grand Blue Fantasy, got hired by Nintendo, and they have now made a new mobile RPG, action RPG, called Dragalia Lost. But unfortunately, It's only been released in 5 countries, US, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Japan, And interestingly enough, it's already made $3 million within 3 days of its release.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
to put that into perspective, I think Fire Emblem Heroes, when it was first released, actually put out around 15 million in the same time frame. No one knows why they're doing such a limited release, but I know I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping to play it when it came out on the 27th, but for now, no word on any Canadian or any other country release, including the UK.
Huh. Interesting. What is it called? Lost Regalia?
Dragalia Lost.
Dragalia Lost.
Yeah. So this is an action RPG. It's kind of like your standard sword and sorcery fantasy fare, but you control a party of characters using swipe controls. Your main character turns into a dragon. It's really bite-sized kind of little levels where you fight monsters in a hack and slash kind of style. Obviously, gacha mechanic, but it looks super interesting. But unfortunately, we're not getting it in Canada just yet.
I'm kind of surprised they're released in other places because some of those other places have much more strict gacha policies than I think we do have, right?
So part of the thinking that I had about this was, I feel like part of it is, you know how like everything in Canada has to have a French language equivalent before it can be released?
Yeah.
So with the UK not having received a release, I'm a little suspicious that the translation effort might be a bit behind right now. And so until there's actually an official French language support, they can't release it in Canada. Because usually whenever they release in the US, you know, Canada's right behind because we're not that different in terms of market.
That's true.
But for some reason, we're not getting it. And I'm a little bit miffed about it. The funny thing is the Nintendo of Canada website actually advertises it and says like, oh, you know, coming to Canada same day. And our App Store doesn't even have a page for it right now.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see soon how it turns out.
Yeah, I mean, the other countries that are listed are... It's basically the US and a ton of East Asian countries that have it right now.
Man, that sucks. I'm looking it up, and I want to play it now.
Yeah, it looks not too bad. The music leaves a lot to be desired, but... I mean, I don't know. If you're sitting on a train, you're not going to be listening to mobile game music anyway. You're just going to be stuck on a train. Hey, you have a history with mobile games, don't you? You got addicted to Puzzles and Dragons at one point.
A handful, yeah. I played Puzzles and Dragons quite a bit in the past, and like I've sort of, I just sort of fallen out of favor with it. I think it's one of those puzzle games where like it had to keep reinventing itself and adding newer mechanics to make it a bit more complex, to make it a bit more enjoyable to play.
Yeah.
So it stopped being, it became more of a chore than fun for me to play at one point, which is unfortunate because I really, really did enjoy the game.
I guess it's interesting because the only other... You and I used to talk about it back when we were in our, you know, university days. And I think you had gone with Puzzles and Dragons, and the direction I went in was with Monster Strike, which was kind of similar. But Monster Strike is actually closed in North America now, so it almost makes me wonder.
Yeah, Puzzles and Dragons is still live.
It's still live, which makes me wonder.
I'm still live and playing because I'm still on the Facebook group and I get updates for it and I see people like posting stuff about it. It's just I don't currently play it, nor have I unsubscribed to it. But I don't know. I really enjoyed that particular game because you have a board of like a certain number of orbs and they're different colors and it's sort of like a bejeweled system. But you take an orb, you drag it across, and then you keep every time you drag past an orb, it replaces it with the orb in front of it. So you set up your board to do like big, huge combos and clears and stuff. So it has a good sense. It has a good sense of strategy to it, as opposed to just trying to build the strongest team and lucking it out. You can have a weak-ish team and still be able to beat a lot of the game content with it, which is sort of cool.
I feel like the one thing that I remember not like making me feel not great about Puzzles and Dragons, it was really grindy in the mid game.
Oh yeah, it gets very grindy, but I think it has that level of rewarding feeling where you don't have to have like the best and the most like updated teams or the most gacha heavy teams in order to clear a lot of the content. There's still quite a bit of stuff you can do as a pretty free player and still be able to get a lot of the stuff that you would need to clear a lot of the endgame content. So that probably kept some of the appeal in there.
I do feel like part of the big reason why I fell out of mobile gaming faster than you did was because we live in a city where unfortunately we don't have internet the moment we take our subway, which to me has always been one of the biggest restricting factors in these games. Like, I can't actually play it during my commute because the connection will cut out. I don't know, have you ever had a similar problem?
Oh, sorry, my mic was muted.
No worries.
My question, while you were saying that, my question was saying, I don't actually, but how many cities in the world actually have internet in their subway system?
Hong Kong!
Because, like, I've been to Hong Kong. Yeah, but we're talking about certain places in Asia where it's, like, very heavily population dense, right? So it makes sense to set up an infrastructure where they have internet underground, or in those sort of long stretches of tunnels. But I'm talking about places in New York, or like in the US and all these other places. How many of those places have internet in their public transit, or at least in their subways, in places like Australia? I'm thinking any non-Asian.
It's a good question, but I feel like, I don't know, especially like based on where we live, or even if you bring up the topic of like New York and London and all these places, it's like you're a huge market epicenter. It strikes me as a little bit odd that we haven't pushed, those cities have not pushed as hard as they have to kind of get more internet down in their tunnels. Simply on the basis of just like, you do so much business. It blows my mind that you guys haven't been like, you know, more people haven't said, you know, I can't respond to emails down in the tunnels. I can't get calls, blah, blah, blah.
It's true. Maybe for some people, it's a little breath of fresh air to sort of detach and to sort of, what's the word called? To sort of break free from that. Just
fall off the grid. Fall off the grid.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But that's called turning your phone off.
It could be nice. Yeah, people don't know how to do that.
I don't know. It's definitely that. I feel like that's maybe potentially one of the limiting factors. Like, I'm not saying we live in some huge city like New York or like London, but it's always been something that I find limits mobile gaming here north of the border, is because we don't really have. We have long commutes, but not to the degree. It's not functional to the degree where mobile gaming has taken off.
It's true.
While we were trying to set up audio, we had one interesting news story come in from Aero, who was just perusing our usual sources to mention. Apparently, Google now has a game streaming service that lets you play Assassin's Creed Odyssey in your browser.
Playable in Chrome. I have not looked it up.
That's
I will
insane.
currently look it up.
That is insane.
Let's see. Google plans to offer some sort of streaming game service or console has been rumored for a while, but today the company has officially announced what it's called Project Stream. Very inventive name.
Very, very accurate name.
Very inventive. Let's see. The first test of the tech will begin October 5th, where selected participants given the chance to stream and play through Assassin's Creed Odyssey in their Google Chrome browser. During the trial period, which Google says will last until mid-January of 2019. That's really cool.
That's a
they
pretty...
also have a video of the game being played at 1080p at 60 frames per second. And yeah, seems really cool.
I guess that's their answer.
Could be a very big thing in the future.
That's their answer to Steam. I feel like that's their answer to Steam, because I mean, would you? So I guess the first question was like, would you be interested in a service like this?
Not.
I think
it depends on the cost.
Not the general public, but like specific to us, you and me being like fairly. I wouldn't say we're heavy gamers, but we're obviously like people who treat this as a pretty serious hobby.
Yeah. I think. I'm just trying to get more details about this, which is like, what type of a setup would I need? And is this going to rely on the graphical capacities of my computer?
Oh, like your GPU has to do like crazy amounts of decoding, you think?
Yeah.
It's possible?
Because if a lot of that stuff, let's say a lot of that stuff is done through their end, and simply what I'm doing is I'm basically watching a stream, and I can then send inputs over to their end, the inputs happen, and then it comes back on my end with very low latency, then that means I can game on a crappy laptop through Google Chrome.
But that'd
be really cool.
That's like the PS Now, right? That's what the PS Now is kind of supposed to be doing.
That's true.
And I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting because one of the things you'll have to think about, like the latency issue for sure. I mean, think about Twitch. We're already having issues trying to sync our reactions together on stream on Twitch, which makes me wonder, gameplay, especially for an action game, is going to be super difficult to maintain low latency.
It's true. But at the very least, you're playing a game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and you're not playing a game like Overwatch or CSGO or something. That actual reaction time really makes a difference, right? The latency really makes a difference on FPS games versus a game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
But Assassin's Creed Odyssey's battle system has evolved to now become more timing dependent, so even then it's not exactly a free pass.
It's true. Let's see. It says you can sign up for a possible inclusion in the test, but you need the following requirements: Google account, Ubisoft account, a computer with a recent version of Chrome, reliable internet connection, and a wired USB controller or external mouse, because trackpad is not recommended. Makes sense. Let's see.
So no graphics card requirement. Interestingly, no CPU
it doesn't
requirement.
currently say anything about a graphic card. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about a GPU requirement yet. So we're gonna see. I mean, we're gonna hear more about it soon. So
it shouldn't if it's really truly streaming, right? Because if it's truly streaming, it's not supposed to. Your GPU. It shouldn't be dependent on your GPU.
Yeah, it should.
I don't know. It's just really interesting to me. I'm really curious to see. I mean, this has been something like. I feel like game streaming has been something we've talked about at least since 2010. I don't remember the name of the service now, but I remember before PlayStation Now became PlayStation Now, they were also tooting like this whole, we're gonna let you stream games and you don't need to build a PC, blah 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 blah. and PS Now's kind of dead in the water.
That's true, but it's always a timing thing, right?
I guess. I mean, Google has the money certainly to like pull this off with more results, and it's more well known. But I just kind of wonder, like, can you imagine playing Cyberpunk 2020 or 2077 on that thing? That would be insane, but
yeah, it would be.
Or like even
I don't know. It's always a timing thing. We've seen this in the past before too. With I mean, like with one of the more historical things, like what is it, like laptops or tablets, and how who did it first? And like people say sort of like Microsoft really like brought out the first sort of like tablet type of an interface, but then it was Apple that popularized it.
Really? How did I honestly,
I don't remember which one it was. It was either that one or with laptops. It was something along those lines where a lot of people have done it first, but it's sort of who popularizes it that makes it big, right? Like you can be ahead of your time, but if you're way too far ahead, it's sort of like how people talk about Google Glasses. They're like, it's way ahead of its time, in the sense it's like no one is accepting of this type of technology at the moment. But we could be in the future, 20 years from now, where the norm is to wear something like wearable tech. Maybe not Google Glasses, but wearable tech could be the future.
So what you're saying is in the future we'll wear Google Glasses and play Assassin's Creed Odyssey while you're actually in a business meeting or something.
No, what I'm saying is, in the future, it's going to be Sword Art Online ordinal scale.
You know that they're developing that, right?
I'm not surprised, but I'm also kind of disappointed.
Someone is actually developing Sword Art Online as a VR MMORPG, I kid you not. I think that news came out 2 years ago.
To be fair, I have always wondered what lies at the top of that. At the top of whichever, what do you call it? The giant dungeon.
The
100th floor.
Aincrad Tower.
Aincrad, I think.
Aincrad Tower.
We never got there. I think they went there once to bust it up, but that was like sort of a it was after the game was done, and they were sort of like going back and doing some other stuff, but it was merged with some other worlds. I want to know what's at the very top there.
That show fell apart really fast.
Oh, big time. Big time.
That show
And like the best part is when you okay, this is where we're gonna catch flames if this ever catches on. The best part has always been like the fans that vehemently defend it. They really defend the series. And I'm like, as much as you defend it, you have to admit there are some really bad parts in the story.
I think no one debates that. I think a lot of people tend to say that the show falls, like, jumps the shark at a certain point. Like, it stops being good very quickly.
Well, have you watched the entire series?
I've watched the entire first season, and I think I picked and chose what to watch for the second season.
Okay, at least you didn't subject yourself to torture. I watched the entire thing. I watched like all of it.
Even like the bullet one, the Gun Gale whatever one.
Oh, GGO?
Yeah.
The Gun Gale Online?
Yeah.
That one's actually not bad. That one is actually better than the original, to me at least.
So
with the little girl.
There's a new there's a new anime. We'll definitely talk a little bit about Sword Art Online. Maybe that'll generate views for the channel.
We can go back to gaming if you guys want. We can go back to gaming.
But there's a new series actually out now that's based in the Sword Art Online universe, quote unquote, but apparently was written by not the guy that writes Sword Art Online. Yes. And apparently it's really good.
It is far better
than the original series.
Sword Art Online, yes.
But the Gun Gale I was talking about was the one where like Kirito pretends to be a girl or something. Like
yeah, that's like season 2 or 3. Season 2, I think.
Because all I remember, I think in my head I call that season 3 because I call season 1 basically all the episodes that take place in the original universe. I think
I think you're thinking of first half season 1, second half of season 1. Which is the
fairy thing.
Yeah, the fairy. I don't remember what it's called anymore. The fairy dance, whatever arc it's called. Basically, the arc that everyone hates.
Yeah, because it's a creepy arc. It is such.
And then there's the Mother's Rosario arc, which is like arc 3, which is a very short arc, but it was actually not too bad.
I liked that arc. That arc was okay.
Yeah, that arc wasn't too bad. And then we go into season 2, where he plays Gun Gale Online. He meets Shino, I think her name was Shino, the sniper girl, and like Kirito has a sword for whatever reason, and swords are way better than guns.
In a game, yeah, exactly.
It's so ridiculous.
Okay, wait. So why don't we start from the beginning? What is your history and exposure with Sword Art Online?
Oh, I never watched it until like probably a year or two ago.
So you're kind of late to the party.
Yeah, I'm way late to the party. I wasn't like super big on anime. Like I watched some like in my youth and whatnot, but I wasn't super into it. And so there was a little while back where like I got really into anime, watched a lot of stuff, and everyone's like Sword Art Online. Sword Art, there's a lot of people saying it's really good. There's a lot of people saying there's even more people saying it's really bad. So I'm like, how bad could it be? Why not watch it?
So it's morbid curiosity, really.
Oh, very morbid curiosity. Very morbid. You know how like curiosity killed the cat?
Curiosity.
This is like curiosity killed all 9 lives of the cat.
So then,
yeah.
So what did you think? Walk us through the seasons. Like how did you find this show?
I tend to block most of it out of my memory. But I can tell you the part where it starts falling apart for me is when you start the series, right? And like there's this premise that's being set, and like forget the people who analyze, selling 10,000 copies of a game is basically like bankruptcy for any AAA.
Yeah.
Forget all that type of statement. Forget all those things. You get into this game, it's cool. You have this like deep dive technology, and like you're like super immersed, and like Kirito goes, he learns about this stuff. Suddenly there's like all these huge stakes at play, and then like they start trying to like learn to live in this world, right? You cut through to what, the next episode, or like later in the episode, or the next episode, and suddenly he's gone up to like floor 50 something, and I'm like, dude, what happened? Like, I want to see a training montage. I want to see him like grow and power up. Why is he suddenly at like level 50 on like whatever floor talking to these other guild people that are gonna die in like 2 episodes? Spoiler alert. Like, why? What happened?
Yeah,
why am I not seeing why am I not seeing him grow and develop so I can like him as a character, but instead we just jump to the part where he's super powerful?
Yeah, I agree.
And that's when I knew it was gonna go downhill.
And then what was like your progression like? So I mean, the first season I think is popularly well known as being the strongest season. What drove you to continue, and what did you think?
I think we've already established morbid curiosity and the extreme amount of morbid curiosity. And it sort of just gets to a point where just like, every time you watch it, you're just like, no, it can't get worse, can it? It can't get worse. You just keep watching it, and you're just like, it does.
And when you're saying,
it gets a little worse.
When you say get worse, what specifically gets worse?
Well, to be fair, nothing gets worse than the second half of season 1. Nothing really gets worse from there. Like, that's really bad.
And why?
But
tell us about it. What?
It's just the way they handled the material. It's the way they handled the material. I think everyone knows the not safe for work scene. Like,
oh
it's
yeah.
Yeah, it's the way they handled the situation. It could have been done way better. It could have been written way better to be a lot more coherent, but there's a lot of issues in the way it's written. I think the animation style was fine. The music, for what it was worth at the time, was really good. Like, the music added a lot to the anime and really made it much more cohesive and much more interesting than what it actually was. But you know, I think the issue was, at first I watched that first, right? And I was like, okay, like, I can see where the complaints are, and I can see why it's like pretty bad. I haven't played a whole ton of MMOs in my day. So I'm like, okay, well, it can't be that bad. And then you watch stuff like Log Horizon, and then you watch stuff like ReZero, you watch all these other isekai style shows, and you're like, yep, Sword Art Online is definitely not very good. It's the mild way to put it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that more or less hits the nail on the head, really. Is if it's your first anime, I can see it being something that you're like, this is totally great, but if you've watched enough, it falls apart pretty dramatically, pretty fast.
I mean, I completely understand that during the time that it came out, the fact that they shipped their 2 main characters mid-season was mind-blowing. And I was like, that's great. Like, that's exactly what people want to see, right? Like, you watch these like tease animes where it's like 24 episodes of, oh no, misunderstandings, more misunderstandings. And they finally come together at the last episode, but like they barely get together. They like, oh, now they're gonna go on their first date. Season over. Yeah, that's true. You're like, I want to see more. I want to see what happens with their lives. Why?
So, I mean, you mentioned the second season, a lot of people have issues with the way that the material is written, and I think one of the big issues a lot of people talk about is Sugu, the little sister of Kirito, the main character, has a very... I don't know if I want to use the word inappropriate, but a weird affection for her sibling. Her half-sibling, or well, I guess her fake sibling, but it's still kind of weird. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think that is nowhere as bad as their surrogate child.
Oh, their Yui?
Yes.
Why
Yui
is that?
literally provides Yui provides like no use in the entire story.
I think it's there's to do a quick shout out. There's a YouTube channel called Mother's Basement. There's a lot of critical analysis on anime, and I think one of the best.
I've watched their stuff too.
You've seen it, right?
And I have agreed with a lot of their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of their stuff as well.
He makes this really
it's
great
not where
point.
all my opinions are from. Like, I watched this and I was like, what is she doing? How come Kirito's suddenly a god hacker? This makes no sense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I cannot deny that he has a point.
Honestly, I think that really was the episode where I stopped watching. Where I was just like, yeah,
it's,
I can't. Like, I took a very long break from the show at that point.
You saved many hours of your life.
No, well, I did
it was
come.
A good idea.
I came back like you. I had morbid curiosity about this show because, again, the first 6
It
episodes.
was not a good idea.
But the first 6 episodes were actually really great when they show you kind of like the consequences of a real isekai. Like people can die and like, you know, what are the.
It was okay.
It was not a bad show. Like the whole murder mystery
I
thing.
guess it comes down to the fact that like just the smallest of things can ruin really good animes. I'm not saying Sword Art Online,
Another one?
but I'm just saying that certain arcs and certain like few episodes can really ruin a series. And like one that happened to my friend, and it was very close to happening to me, was when I was watching ReZero. Did you watch ReZero?
I did not watch ReZero.
Okay. ReZero is a pretty good anime. Like overall, it's good. Like a lot of people received it very well. And do you know the premise of the story?
I do not.
So it's basically isekai, where this guy, he gets transported into the other world. He's literally like one day he's at a convenience store, and then suddenly, boop, he is in this other world, right? And basically he has no clue how he gets there. And the premise is that stuff will happen over the course of like while he's in the other world. And when he dies, he will basically like resurrect. He will come back to life, but at an earlier point in time. So it sort of like resumes him at a save point.
So
And
it's like
gets
Steins
reverted
Gate.
back. He sort of, yeah. But he doesn't get the time travel. It's more like there is a certain save point that's made. There's a set point in time that is being held. And then until he progresses his narrative, so to speak, past a certain point, he will, whenever he dies, he'll always come back to that particular point.
Okay, so it's Groundhog Day.
And so, yeah, exactly. It is basically Groundhog Day. So throughout the story, like he meets this girl named Amelia. She has like white hair. She's like, she basically looks like the main love interest of the protagonist. And to anyone who is listening to this, there may be spoilers in this, but you should have watched it by now. To be fair, you should have watched it by now. And so, it gets to this point where like he's trying to figure out the mystery, and he's like using his sort of powers to like it takes him a long time before he realizes that's what's happening. He keeps waking up not knowing what's happening, and he's like, why am I back here? What's happening? All this kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous at that point. But so basically you sort of have to watch you have to watch the series because it's one of the biggest snubs like in the entire anime, in the sense like there's another love interest that comes out in the story, and they're like a pair of twins. One has pink hair, one has blue hair.
I've
and
seen
they're, like,
this.
maids.
Yeah, I've seen this.
You have seen, because you've seen all the memes that are about it, basically.
I think so. Yeah, I think.
And
I've seen
basically, like, blue, like, one of the girls presents herself basically as best girl, but he doesn't choose her. He ends up choosing like his original love interest, but like, so everyone hates on Amelia basically. But like, literally, she did nothing wrong. She did nothing wrong in the entire series. It's so sad.
I'm a little confused. Why do people hate on her?
Because Best Girl has a really good arc. Like, Best Girl has a really good and moving arc and compels her and pushes her towards Best Girl.
So it's a fan thing.
He decides to go with, yeah, but that's not the point. So I guess you have to sort of watch the entire thing, but there's this one arc. Probably it's around, I want to say episodes 16 to 18 or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure. Where the MC becomes like very trodden down. He becomes very depressed, and he becomes very scared of dying. He doesn't want to die anymore. He's constantly dying, and he has no clue why he's dying. Like, basically he's constantly being reset back to his time, but he always retains his memories. So he remembers how he dies, he remembers how horrific it is, he remembers how scared he is. And the problem is, in those like 3 or 4 episodes, he is just the most pathetic piece of crap you have ever. And if he could rot underneath the earth, that would be too good for him.
Wait, what? Like he does horrible things, or?
he doesn't do horrible things, but he is just the most pathetic person in the world. Like, you should have no sympathy for him. And you're like, and basically it gets so bad where I at one point was like, why am I watching this anime? Should I continue watching it? That's how bad it is. I had a friend that just dropped it after like 2 episodes of that. She was like, why am I watching this? This is a waste of my time.
Because he's a horrible person? Again, I don't get it.
He's not a horrible person. He's just very pathetic in the sense like he, like everyone's trying to come to him for help, but he says he can't do anything. He doesn't want to do anything. He's scared of dying. He's had all these traumatic experiences that he's not thinking about like how he could use his powers that he has. The fact that he could like revert back to the an original state. He doesn't use that power for any sort of good. He just tries to run away from all of his problems in a very pathetic way. You sort of have to watch it to understand, but it's just not. It's just that particular arc can make or break the series for someone, in my opinion.
And then does it get better after?
Yeah, it gets better after.
Like back to the
it's
high?
Arguable it's worth it to go through that.
Or just skip it?
It's you could skip it. Nothing happens basically in those like 3 episodes where he is just the most pathetic piece of crap in the world.
This sounds like that arc in Haruhi where you're just the Endless 8 arc.
I don't know if I watched that.
No, don't watch that.
Okay.
that was a bad arc.
Should we get back to gaming, or is this going to be an anime episode?
Yeah, anime episode's not bad.
That's not bad too. We're a variety channel.
We are a variety channel. We are a variety channel.
Yay, variety.
We're gonna go to 10:15 or 11:15 today because we unfortunately had a lot of audio issues at the beginning. So we're gonna make up for that by doing a little bit more grinding, and then hopefully, for anyone who is just kind of wondering what we're doing, we're just trying to grind up our party a little bit. But Eric is about to get dual wielding, which is something I do want to see, and see if that evens our odds in that boss fight.
Woo! So speaking of dual wielding, how ridiculous is that Kirito gets dual? No, I'm kidding.
I really didn't like that show. Well, no, that's a lie. I liked it at the beginning.
I'm kidding. I think we're done ragging on SAO.
We could get an audience.
Nah, I guess. So is there anything else we want to bring up in terms of gaming? Any sort of big things that have sort of hit the scene recently?
I do. Kind of not really to end on a sad note or anything, but something that our audience probably wants us to talk about just because it happened not too long ago is, I don't know if you heard about this, Arrow. Telltale Games, of the Walking Dead fame, of the Wolf Among Us fame, closed down actually earlier end of last week. The studios actually had already announced a ton of new games, including the final season of The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us Part 2. And its employees are unfortunately tweeting that they're not being paid. They basically are not receiving their last little bit of funding. The company's trying to get someone to take over to finish the last of The Walking Dead. Yeah, it's just kind of a bad situation. I don't know if you heard about this, Arrow.
Yeah, I have heard of it. It really sucks. The silver lining in it is that some of the devs have posted some of the behind-the-scenes cuts, and those things are hilarious. I don't know if you've seen them. Some of them are hilarious. Like,
I haven't seen them
different,
yet.
like alternate endings to like some of the Walking Dead stuff. Like, it is so funny.
What's your experience with Telltale Games?
I have not played a single one. It's on my list. The only sort of that type of game I played is like Life is Strange. That type of game that I've played.
Yeah.
Where quote unquote decisions matter. Yeah, I'm sad to hear that that's what happened. And like, it's always been on my list to play different Telltale games. I'm a big Batman fan. I really like a lot of comic books. And so I always wanted to play the Batman series of Telltale games. And hopefully I get to at some point. Like, I really hope that Steam continues to offer it, because I heard that they pulled a couple of things from Steam already.
I think
I think it's like some of the season pass stuff and different things.
Because it's like, so apparently the company has not shut down, because if it shuts down, I think they have to pay the employees that they let go a certain amount of money. So it's kind of a scumbag move. Like, they're not shutting down to avoid having to pay out this financial dividend. But I do wonder how long they'll stay. Is there any like series from Telltale that you were ever particularly interested? Because you mentioned that you had some things on your list that you wanted to try out.
It was definitely the Batman and the Walking Dead series. Well, probably a lot of them, because I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. Big fan. Like, I used to watch The Walking Dead, but I know the comic book series is also really good, so I would definitely be interested in playing that. And also, Batman series is a lot of the games that I would be interested in. But I guess I heard that basically they got so popular, they created so many games that they cornered their own market.
Pretty
from what I understand.
much. I remember. I mean, I can only say this from personal experience. I just remember there was a period of time when Telltale would say, like, we got the license for this, and at first it was kind of like surprise, and then it kind of gradually became more and more of like, it's the same game, just with a different coat of paint.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing them as a visual novel type of story, right? You're not really playing them for game reasons.
I guess the interesting thing is, it depends on how you perceive the tilt, because at one point, kind of earlier on, they used to do this thing where, oh, like, your choices matter. Like, if you, not to spoil anything, but for anybody who's played The Walking Dead, you'll know this to be very true, where it seems like you have a choice, but if you play the games kind of back to, like, if you play the same chapter twice and go out of your way to make different choices, you'll notice that certain things kind of end the same way no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
If that kind of makes sense. And it's a limitation of the fact that, like, from the outset they were making episodic games. So, like, there was really only so many...
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. I think I've played a couple of games where they tell you choices matter. You get to the very end of the game, and you're like, wow, I have two... And I don't think any of my decisions up to that point would have really changed what these two choices would be.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those things, it's like a limitation of game design, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's nothing I really fault them for, in the sense, like, I feel like if you're a good story, you don't need to give us that many choices. Just tell us the story that you want to tell.
I think that's fair. I mean, the interesting thing is, this is my way to plug the Telltale game that I actually finished. And unfortunately, I don't even know if it's like telling people to go buy it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, simply because it's not going to the artists and the writers and the directors who made this great game. But one of the Telltale games I personally always loved was The Wolf Among Us. Fantastic game, episodic, and the ending, the way they structured that game, the ending actually could be dramatically very different. So I'm sad to hear it go, because I was actually really looking forward to potentially playing The Wolf Among Us Season 2, but it looks like that's not going to be the case anymore.
It's okay.
Alright, we got dual wielding.
Oh, baby.
What do we do with Veronica's skill points? Increase maximum MP. Weaken an enemy's resistance to all offensive spells. Beelzefreeze, an attack that can deal heavy damage to demons and also paralyze them into the bargain.
How often do we see demons?
Yeah, I know. Kind of want to go down this route, because it lets us do minor MP recovery after battle. Which I think I feel like is useful.
I feel like we need to play Spider-Man at some point. It's like all the hype.
Yeah, I wanted to get it, but it's
It looks really good.
Post-Call Gaming has a very small budget. So it might be a while till
we get some sponsors.
We get some sponsors. Audacity, I heard you sponsor everybody. Okay, let's just quickly see. Let's quickly try to run that boss one more time and see if our levels have made any significant difference. I have a feeling they didn't, but...
Maybe we need a GoFundMe page. Maybe any type of publicity is good publicity.
I feel like, do we really want to work for a company that's like willing to... It's like they have even 10 views. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
think with Audacity and those other companies, like, you know, like Dollar Shave Club, like all all the sponsors that you've heard on other podcasts. I think you need at least 100, like at least 1,000 or something subscribers.
Damn.
We have 1 subscriber.
I want to sell out. I want to sell out. I'm pretty sure that's me. I want to sell out.
No, so you're our Twitch follower, and Waltz is our 1 YouTube channel subscriber, I think.
Oh, Waltz is our 1 subscriber?
On YouTube. I think.
I could be your 2nd. I think I have Amazon Prime. So I should have Ergo Twitch Prime. I will be your subscriber.
Alright, let's give this one last try. And then we'll have to probably grind some more. Oh! I forgot to change our guys off of auto AI, but I think that was a good decision.
You saved, right?
Yeah, I did. But it looks like actually Veronica just cast a spell that I didn't know would work on this guy. It prevents him from casting spells?
Ooh, I don't know if his big area attack is a spell.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Let's take a look. He still casted a spell. Oh wait, no, he couldn't. No, he couldn't. It got shut down.
Ooh.
And that did not do as much damage as it did before. Okay, let's take a look and see. Ooh, he blocked that. That was weird.
Well, we're doing marginally more damage than we used to do.
Sorry.
Something's weird here. I don't know how he blocked that attack. Never seen him. Whoa, we're doing quite a bit of extra damage. How much should we debuff him, you think?
As much as you can.
Because I definitely want to start buffing our own guys, too. We're not doing too bad. We're actually doing... Oh! Wow! Oh, no. He still can do the spewing move. Okay.
That's not good.
That's not good. Oh, crap. Okay, our guys are confused and they're just attacking each other now. I don't like this arrow. We're doing better, but I don't know if it's enough.
I mean, how much more do we have to grind in order to kill this guy?
I don't know.
Too much?
Like, we are definitely doing a lot better, but...
Oh, man. It's hitting hard still.
Yeah, he's still definitely doing a ton of damage. And the other problem is with Veronica dead, we don't actually have a someone who can debuff his defense. Because before we were doing quite a bit of damage because she was able to bring his defense down, but now he's back to normal. Which kind of sucks.
Absolutely.
Oh, we can bring her back. Should we do it?
I guess so.
Let's give it a try. Because we really need that debuff right now. Oof! He just landed a critical hit, but thankfully he attacked Sylvando, who's a guest.
Wait, how many more leaves do we have?
Only that was it.
That was it. Well,
that was it.
we can always pray.
I mean, we're lasting a little longer,
Which is good.
which is not bad. Not sure about our long-term survival capability, but let's...
Well, I mean...
No, Sylvando! Why? We put him to sleep and he woke him up! This is the third time he's done this to me. There's actually a deleted stream of me where I cussed on stream, which I don't like to do.
Oh no!
Because I was so frustrated.
I think you should cuss more so that we can use more of the Yoshi lines.
It takes too much time to edit the streams when we do that. Okay, I'm not a big fan of what's going on right now, but we gotta at least bring our healer back.
How far are we from dead?
You mean the monster or us?
Well, I'm watching it delayed, so I'm always asking the question, where are we at?
We are still, thankfully, somehow alive.
Man, we need some group healing abilities or something.
Yeah, I know, it really sucks that we don't have anything. Okay, we're gonna do a limit break and see if that helps turn the tide. I don't think it will, but let's see.
They're scams, man. Limit breaks are scams.
Final Fantasy VII taught me that they're the best. The best.
Yeah, this is definitely not Final Fantasy VII. Do you see any square heads here?
Sorry.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Perhaps this will help.
I'm gonna see if buffing us with speed might make a difference. No, stop. Stop. Cease this.
Ceaseless.
Okay, somehow, some way, we are staying alive.
We're doing it. We're doing way better than before.
We're lasting way longer than we have in the past.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I just don't know how much longer we're gonna last, though. Oh, he just did that group attack thing, which I hate.
We have to keep, like, buffing ourselves, you know?
Holy cow! That was disgusting. Okay.
It's okay, it's a hard-fought battle. That's what makes it sweet when you win.
If we win!
No, when you win. When you win.
Okay, I gotta focus on healing for a sec here, because we're not gonna last very long. Gotta try to focus on keeping everyone at roughly max health, basically. I'm gonna keep trying to debuff him and just see what happens. Stop it! Oh my goodness. Huh. We can try this. There's a limit break that apparently will up our defense power? Oh, it's just the two of us praying.
Interesting. Are you
Well,
gonna keep trying to cast Decelerate?
I'm gonna try again, yeah.
Does Decelerate make some attack less frequently, right?
Yeah, that's the hope, anyway.
That sounds really good.
But, I don't know, let's just see what happens, because right now we're kind of in a rough spot. Okay, we finally landed one Decelerate.
That sounds good. Sounds very promising.
Nope! We just killed one of our guys.
Well, I mean...
And he can cast Confuse on our DPS.
Well, don't we have some sort of herb for that?
This is really crappy situation.
What matters is that we were close. We're still close. We're not dead yet.
Well, the funny thing is, oh, I cast heal on the wrong person. What's really interesting is that if we win, our main character is gonna be super behind on levels because he's not gonna receive the EXP for this.
I think we need to go back and buy some more Yggdrasil leaves.
You can't buy them.
We're gonna have to find some more leaves.
Cannot buy them, unfortunately.
This is how you know the game hates you, when you can't buy revive mechanics.
And we're screwed.
Let me buy my Phoenix Downs.
At least to my knowledge, you cannot buy like resurrection items.
Maybe later in the game.
Maybe.
But it doesn't seem like you can at the moment.
Jeez. Don't wake him up, Sylvando. Don't wake him up. Don't wake him up. Thank you. Oh, he woke up on himself. What is this? Okay, I don't know how much more we're supposed to grind because we're almost already level 20.
And like you said, there's nothing we can do here, right?
No, there's definitely no gearing that we can do at this point. Oh! Hey! We did it!
We did it!
And our hero's dead, so he didn't get any of that EXP.
Sad. It's okay, the true heroes are always underdogs.
That will teach you to be so grumpy. Now, hold nice and still while I tie you up.
Whoa, what? How is he gonna tie this thing up? What? That chain was not as long when he showed it originally.
Interesting.
The battle is won! The Slayer of the Sands is bested! All in a day's work for the Prince of Gallopolis!
This guy really just cheeses me
You
off.
saw me, man, did you not?
He does!
Saw the People's Prince defeat the fiend that terrorized them so.
Yes, Your Highness. Of course, Your Highness.
Wow, they just lumbered this thing onto a cart.
You have my thanks.
Fantastic.
My heroic feat would not have been
What a great guy.
possible without
What a
you.
great guy.
Valuable contribution. I still have not forgotten what I promised. I will speak with my father about the rainbow upon my return. You may rest assured of that.
Really, Principal? That's how you're gonna play it? And what do you think they'll be expecting of you next, huh?
You speak as though I have a choice! Are you suggesting that I disappoint my father and the citizens of Gallopolis?
What is Sylvando's deal? It's really weird. Also, his little necklace thing, I don't know how it stays on
I'm
his
not suggesting anything,
clothes.
darling. You do what you need to do.
To Gallopolis, men! We return as heroes! Yeah!
Yeah! These horses all have K-pop boy band hair.
Well, this feels all kinds of wrong. You're right.
I mean,
Silvando. Nothing's going to
that's one
change
way to
if
get
we
people to
keep
play a
on-
game.
Oh, I think the poor boy knows that well enough. All he needs is a little push.
All he needs is a little
Anyway, I better
push.
be getting along. I'm sure we'll bump into each other
That
again
sounds
soon.
so weird.
He sounds like someone from oh, is it Scarface or is it from The Godfather? Say hello to my little friend.
That's Scarface.
That's Scarface, right?
Scarface.
Okay. Somehow I'm still alive. Let's go save. Oh, they're running away from me now. Oh man, I can't believe we lost our main guy in that fight. He didn't get any EXP.
Hey, you can reload it and fight it again.
No thanks. We're good. He's actually gonna be the second lowest level now at this point.
Ooh, that's
It's low.
that's okay. That's okay.
Well, at least we-
Underdog. Underdog.
How much gold did we? Oh wow, we earned up like 5,000 gold through that. All right. Oh, we went a little bit over time, but that was to make up for the fact that we had a little bit of issues.
Worth.
Worth.
Even if I'm losing sleep, I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Worth.
Alright, that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks to everybody who is tuning in. If you're catching us on the YouTube archive and you liked what you saw, please like this video and subscribe to see all of our latest streams and videos. You can also hit the notification bell to join our notification squad and find out about all the latest videos as they get released. You can always follow us on facebook.com/postcallgaming and twitter.com/postcallgaming. Arrow, where can our audience follow you if they want to see more of your stuff?
If you want to see more of our stuff, and we promise we won't keep bragging on SEO or talk about anime, you can always find us here at Post Call Gaming. I don't have a channel of my own, so I will be right here whenever you want to talk about games, about anime, about comic books, whatever you want to do.
Thanks a ton for being on tonight, Arrow. Alright, that's
No
all,
problem.
folks. Thanks and good night.